Hello everyone, I'm gonna present to you the insights generated by the dataset of Metrocar app and what can we do to improve those steps with greater area of growth. For the agenda of this presentation, we're gonna start by learning the funnel steps decided to understand the general points where drop-off occurs, followed by the conversion rate to highlight the step that we can improve. The third point is observing in which platform our presence is greater by total number of downloads and focus our budget there. Moving on to the fourth point is to review the age groups to understand our target customers and how can this relate with point 5, which is the distribution of requests through the day. As we can see in the image, the general funnel steps are downloads, signups, writes requested, writes accepted, and writes completed. These steps represent the general flow that impact the number of users using our service. Using the percentage top approach, we can see a clear decrement on some steps of the funnel, but we're going to focus on that where the total users decrease the most. As we saw before, the step with the lowest conversion rate was writes accepted to writes completed. Having this last step, only 50.76% of users that requested a write. I believe we can study this step further deeper in the writes accepted to writes completed by collecting data of waiting time that the user or the driver spends waiting at the pickup location for each other, or when none of them find because of the wrong pickup location point. I can tell by the low decrease from writes requested to writes accepted that the location rating of users and driver or payment method generate not a big impact. According to the graph, we can observe that iOS has the most downloads with 14,290. So it is logic to focus our efforts on this platform. And it is not a good option to focus on webs since it is easier for users to use our services on mobile devices as they go. In the next step is to analyze our target customers. Results shows that what can be considered as people on working age use more Metrocar. This can be because students going to school or workers going to job. General commuters, in other words. I tried to connect the dataset to the data of age ranges, but I was not successful by creating this funnel. But I believe we can target more customers by analyzing them through the funnel. In order to adapt our services to the demand of it through the day, I created a graph that shows this information by hour of the day. We can observe that the range of hours peak of use requested is from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. This makes more solid our theory that general commuters such as students or workers use our app. I suggest to collect more time data of different years to enhance the study by seeing a possible seasonality through the year or coordinates to highlight on a map the most popular and peak hours to better adapt our pricing model. To summarize, we should focus more on why the rides are cancelled since they are accepted but only 50% of the rides completed are completed. This might be due to waiting time by the user or the driver. Next, focus our efforts on iOS platform because it has more downloads, and if we try to understand more of it, we can analyze these platforms through the funnel. Because maybe iOS has the most downloads, but most drop off of users through the funnel. Another improvement to make is connect the age range data with the funnel data to understand which users are more consistent from downloading the app until completing a ride. So these are going to be our target customers. As a final point, I suggest to improve the dataset by collecting more time and location data to try and predict seasonality and recurrent areas to adjust our pricing model better. Thank you.